What's up everybody, Matt here. Today in this awesome video we're going to be looking at the wonderful Enzo by Meris. A beautiful pedal, sleek in its design, but very next level and futuristic in its operating system. So first we're going to talk a little bit about the company, because these guys are a little new, and some of the pedal guys that are like crazy about collectors and stuff should definitely know about Meris. If you don't know, you gotta know. So they are from LA, Los Angeles. They are pretty much well known for, or they became well known when they released the Autobit, and then released the Autobit Junior. And now they have pedals like the Polymoon, it's like a delay, the Hydra, a pitch shifter, the Mercury 7 Reverb, which I'm going to be doing a video on pretty soon, and of course the Enzo. They have a wonderful little MIDI controller as well as a preset switch you can use for like all these pedals. It's great. And in my Mercury 7 video I'm going to have a preset switch as well, so make sure you check that out. So first, let's go ahead and get into the pedal. So the first thing that we'll notice here is there are 6 knobs and 2 switches. Each knob has its own separate function. So pitch, this will raise and lower the pitch of your synth signal. The filter, this is pretty obvious. Mix, that's obvious. Sustain, that's also obvious. The filter envelope, this is like how much your pick attack affects it. Also, sort of the decay of the filter, like when you play a note, how hard it reacts to it, this is what you control with this. The modulation, that detunes the oscillators of the synth, so it almost sounds like you're doubling the more that you turn this way. Now, the most amazing things about this pedal, to me, are its tap tempo function, which we're going to get into when we listen to it, and then the alt function. So, to send the pedal into what's called global configuration mode, you hold the alt button down for 3 seconds, and then whatever knob you're turning has its own separate function that you're going to be hearing while you're holding the alt button and turning it. So essentially, you can't just press the alt button and turn. You have to hold the button down and then turn something to make it actually do what it's going to do. So we're going to talk about the 3 things that we're going to look at in this video. The first thing that we're going to look at is the tap tempo switch with the with poly and mono selected. We're going to look at some cool settings of mine, some of my preferred settings first. Then we're going to be checking out the alternate setting for the bypass. What's going to happen there when you press the alternate hold thing and you hold the bypass? It's going to change the synth signal from sawtooth to square. So it's really awesome. Very cool stuff. We're going to listen to that. We're going to listen to the alternate function on the modulation, which when you're holding that down, it becomes delay. So it's very cool to add that into synth sound. It takes away a little bit of the detuned oscillators, which some really synthy people, really are crazy about that stuff. So there are upsides and downsides, but overall, it's really awesome. And then the last thing we're going to check out are all the different filter types. So when you hold the alt switch, the filter is going to be, if you're familiar with filter pedals, auto filter pedals, like auto wah stuff, the higher that it is up, the more that it's going to turn your signal into a wah type sound. So when you're holding this down and you're turning the filter knob, you're going to be going between 6 different types of filters listed here. The 6 filters definitely have their own type of functions. You have the ladder low pass, the ladder shelving band pass, ladder high pass, state variable low pass, state variable band pass, and state variable high pass. So those low pass ones kind of volume swell the pitch, or not the pitch, but the signal in. So when you play, it sort of volume swells in. We're going to check out a couple of those as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to shut up. I'm playing through a Buddy Blaze guitar with bare knuckle pickups straight into my good old AC-15. Here's my clean tone. Alright, let's check out the pedal. First, we're going to listen to my settings. So I've got the sustain all the way up, the filter at noon, modulation just a little way up. We're going to turn the bypass on and check out poly first. So I'm going to play a nice E minor chord. Now let's listen to that in the synth. So it really picks up every single note in the chord. Really nice stuff. Even really abstract chords like 9th chords, 13 chords, it picks those up very well. Amazing stuff. So now let's check out the same sound on the mono setting, where it just tracks single notes at a time instead of chords. So it tracks really well, it responds to bends great, and it even responds to vibrato very well. As well as, you know, following the really quick stuff. Really, really cool. Now we're gonna check out the tap tempo switch with both engaged, poly and mono. You get a really awesome sound here. So when you play a chord here, it arpeggiates every single note within that chord at the speed that your tap tempo switch is at. So let's say you want it really slow. Or you want to speed it up, like I definitely like to take it real fast. So really, really cool stuff. The poly and mono together is just, it's super rad. So those were my settings. Now we're gonna explore some of the alt functions. We're gonna start with the bypass. So we're gonna stay on poly for this, then I'll show you the difference between like the mono and then both when we're sort of in the other one. So you've just heard all of those on the sawtooth synth setting. Now we're going to use the alt function and make it square. So here's our square synth. So a little bit less responsive to pick attack, but a bit overall nicer tone, I think. Now let's listen to mono. Now that's pretty classic synth sound right there. Sounds really, really cool. Now let's check out both poly and mono together. So it gets a lot more 80s. Now we're back to the sawtooth. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to check out is going to be the delay function. Oh, I'm sorry. The next thing we're going to check out are the filters. We're going to look at the filters first. So what you just heard is noon, pretty much taking off a lot of the attack from the decay of the wah afterwards. So I'll show you what it would sound like normally. You can really hear it open up as you turn it. And once it reaches top, it gets really harsh. So I like to keep it at about halfway just to minimize a lot of that, but still get the nice synth. So let's check out what these all sound like. Nice stuff. Now back to our regular tone. So it goes without saying, to take the alt function off once you've got it engaged, all you have to do is hold it again and then turn the same knob again, and then it will revert, as you just heard, back to the regular sound that you had before. So the last thing that we're going to look at with this awesome pedal is going to be the delay setting. So I'll show you how the modulation works. We'll go ahead and just check out some chords real quick again. So no modulation at all. Pretty unique stuff. Now let's check out the delay function on that. So this is without either poly or mono selected. Now, let's try it with the mono setting so that you'll hear a synth tone, but also you'll get the natural delay behind it. Mono does not take chords well. So if we turn the sustain down, we can kind of check it out a little on the poly setting. It's real light. So really cool stuff. So the Meris Enzo is a very complicated pedal. It took me a long time to get it down. I still feel like I have a long way to go on it, but there are many functions in which I did not go into in this video that are totally worth buying it for. I mean, man, these guys are just ahead of the game in so many ways. The alt functions alone blew my mind. I mean, I just couldn't believe that, really. This pedal is more of a computer to me than an effects pedal. It truly is, with no LEDs or keyboard type situation. It still is just the smartest effect I've ever used or messed with. So make sure you check it out. I have a link to Meris's website in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about any of the gear or my guitar, the pedal shelf, anything with the Enzo, anything at all, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to chat with you for a bit. As always, do not forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.